Hello everybody, doing a little phone jockeying here for the recording. Welcome. Oh my goodness, it's Friday afternoon. I don't know if you need this as much as I do, but here we are on Friday afternoon. It's snowy out there, depending on, again, I never know when people are going to be watching this recording, but it is snowy here in New Jersey and it's Friday and it is a welcome end to this very, very severe weather week that we have been seeing all over the country. And yet, we can still, in the midst of bad weather and all sorts of conditions, we can still take this time. And the middle of the day is my favorite time to just sort of pull back a little bit from whatever has been going on for you in the morning and during the day. I know I've had lots of people telling me about, car accidents and just a whole lot of stuff going on out there. So realize that no matter what has already gone on for you today, you can always take this time to be deliberate and sort of pull back, find your place of calmness and stillness, and do a little yoga, do a little breathing, a little calming, a little drinking of water. So simple, right? Just drinking some water. In fact, hang on a second, I'm going to reach over and make sure I have mine easily available. And here it is. I'm Rhonda Uretsky, and I am the owner of River Flow Yoga. That is the name of this site. It is the name of our yoga studio in Lambertville, New Jersey, and it is open a little bit. We are keeping our classes deliberately small, and yet here we are coming to you virtually. So we have a very wide audience of people who can join in our yoga practice every day right here on Facebook. It's on Facebook Live for now. At some point, we are going to be moving this over to our YouTube channel. It'll still be available for you there. So participate as much as you can. This is a practice that I do every day, and I'm here every day to share it with you. So welcome. Again, I'm Rhonda Uretsky, and this is the practice called Blissful Warrior. So it's a practice of calming your nerves, stilling your mind, maybe stretching your body a little bit, all of the things that go into making up a calmed nervous system. We pay a lot of attention to the health of our bodies, right? And we have a lot of information about that. Diet and exercise, lots and lots of information about ways to take care of our physical health. But there isn't all that much talk about our emotional health. And more than ever now, we really do need to find this kind of mental clarity and sense of stability. Some people are calling it resilience. I do like that word, but I do think it has a connotation of somebody who can pick themselves up after being slammed down by a challenge. And of course, we all feel these challenges in our lives, and sometimes it does make you feel slammed down. But my idea of resilience is not to have to wait until you feel up against a wall or feel like you're facing something very difficult, but to have the daily resilience of just being able to get up in the morning and look forward to the day, to have a measure of optimism about this day that's unfolding ahead of you, no matter what might have come before. So that's the kind of resilience that we are developing here in Blissful Warrior. It is a warrior practice. It does take practice to be able to pull yourself back from the conditions around you, not get so pulled in to these spinning mind conditions that you feel completely without any power, just completely disempowered by conditions around you, but to be able to find your sense of stability inside of you. Not to go looking for it on the outside when you realize that it's right here on the inside and you can access it anytime you want. So that's our practice, the warrior practice of being blissful in every moment, as blissful as you possibly can. Nobody expects you to be jumping for joy in every moment, but to be able to deliberately choose to shift your focus from something that's disturbing you right now to something that will ease your nerves a little bit, so that when you do go into facing these challenging conditions, you do it with a calmed nervous system. Of course, your results will always be better if you approach it from this place of stability. And it's so lovely to know that you don't have to depend on outside conditions changing. Your bank account doesn't have to change. Your work, your relationships, your finances, nothing, your weight, your physical health. None of that actually has to change in order for you to be able to choose a place of stability from within. So here we are, arriving in this practice. Make sure you have some water beside you, because the first and easiest thing that you can do to calm your nervous system is drink more water. So let's start this practice by taking a few sips. I usually like to say we're very fortunate because we live in a country where water, clean, pure water, is readily available to us all. And yet I know that we're in a place right now, in a moment right now, where that isn't true. For some people around the country, places like Texas and other areas where the power is not allowing water to flow. So if you have water available to you, appreciate that it's there. And as you drink this water, you can actually feel how it's calming your nervous system. And as I mentioned when we first started here, I really need this today. I am absolutely feeling myself being pulled around by conditions. You know how it goes? You go from one triggering condition to the next, and you barely have the time to pull yourself back to take a deep breath. And yet, here we are, doing just that. Knowing that you always actually do have a choice. It doesn't feel like you always do. It feels like conditions are pulling on you, and you just don't have time to take care of your own mental health. But you do. And I'm here to remind you of that and practice with you. So let's arrive in this practice. Choose a place for your body to rest that feels comfortable for you. I'm sitting cross-legged on a cushion. That doesn't mean you have to. It just happens to be, after 50 years of practice, the place that feels most like home to me. But if you'd like to sit on the floor, I always recommend having a cushion under you, sliding yourself to the far front edge of the cushion so that your hips and your knees will tilt downward. Keep your ribs inward. Just see if that feels comfortable. Maybe leaning back a little bit. Imagining that your middle back is reaching for the wall behind you, just gently, and drop your chin. If you prefer to sit in a chair, it's always a good idea to have a chair with a back, lean back against it, and have both feet on the ground. It's very calming to your nervous system to place both feet on the ground. Just feel that. If you can lie down, we are going to do some lying down postures, but if you'd like to begin this practice by lying down, I recommend lying on your back. Arms at your sides, but not too close. Heels touching and toes and knees and feet flopped, splayed apart. And keep your eyes open. If you're sitting, focus your gaze in front of you. Look out of the tops of your eyes, letting your chin drop a little bit. And if you're lying on your back, just shift your gaze so you're looking down the middle of your body rather than at the ceiling. And in both cases, you're going to notice a little bit of release in your neck. How many of us carry tension in our shoulders, in our neck, in our arms. So this is a really good way to just release that tension. Hello, Lisa. Nice to have you. All right. So you've chosen your arrival posture, which means you've just decided to be here and to rest your body in this practice. No one choice is better than the other. Choose what feels good for you right now. Whatever you've chosen, again, if it's a sitting posture, just have a little bit of a leaning back feeling with your middle back, dropping down with your chin. Eyes are open. Just have your gaze sort of focused and soft. All right, let's move into some deep breathing. Breathing is a beautiful way to massage your entire nervous system. Just think of that. Breathing deliberately massages and calms your nervous system. And it is the thing that you are doing all the time. You're just being deliberate about it now. So let's begin. We'll be breathing in and out through the nose, and I'll be instructing you on what little adjustments you can make in your body to allow this breath to really come through you. Inhale through your nose. The loud ha sound in your throat. Chin is down. Pull your collarbones wide and let your ribs expand to the sides, 180 degrees. Think of it like a big accordion expanding outward. You can feel this sort of empowered feeling that the breath gives you. Now exhale. Loud ha sound. Let the collarbones be pulled wide. It's like you have one long collarbone. Let your ribs meet in the center like an accordion coming back together. And then drop your tailbone slightly and tuck it towards your navel just a little bit, having that lifted feeling in your chest. Slowing down. Inhale. Can you hear that loud ocean sound in the back of your throat? You're deliberately breathing in a deep way. Ribs are wide open. And exhale. Imagine your ribs like an accordion being pressed to the midline, dropping your tailbone down and then slightly tucking up. Just stay empty here for a moment in this really beautiful space between the exhale and the next inhale. It's relaxingly beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. Keeping that breath loud at the back of your throat, a big loud ha sound, emptying out, tailbone drops, and then slightly tucks. Settling in, inhale. Can you feel this pull on your collarbones? It's like one long continuous line. Ribs out to the sides. Try not to thrust your ribs forward or up, just out to the sides. Exhale. The ribs meet, or you sense that they do, and you drop your tailbone down. Little slump in your lower back, and then tuck the tailbone towards your navel. A little rise in your chest. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Staying empty is so surprisingly relaxing. You get this pause even in your breath. And last deep breath, inhale. Feeling this internal pull on your collarbones. Noticing not a lot happening with your shoulders pushing back or your chest pushing forward. It's more of an internal feeling. An opening across your heart center. Ribs wide out. Exhale. And drop your tailbone and tuck it slightly up. Now this works whether you're sitting on the floor, sitting in a chair, or lying on your back. And now I just want you to notice how you feel. 6 deep breaths later. I know for me, again, I noted that I was really very triggered this morning. Lots of events swirling around that seemed to want to pull me into lots of controversy. And right now, it feels like those events are very far away. What's present is this peaceful feeling, this sense of calm, maybe rational, knowing that if I were to take action from this point forward, it would be a calming result. Beautiful. Let's drink a little water, and then then go into some yoga movement. All right, let's do some forward bending today. So if you're already on the floor, just take that cushion out from under you. If you are sitting on a chair, come join us here on the floor. If you are lying on your back, roll over onto your right side, press your palms to the ground and bring yourself up to sitting. And here we are, legs out. It feels really good to stretch your legs after you've been sitting either in a chair or with the legs tucked. Place your palms lightly on your knees and bounce your knees. It's a nice bouncy kind of feeling here, getting the fluid to flow back into your legs. Nice little boost for your circulation in your legs. And stop. Flex your heels. Lock your elbows. Collarbones wide, chin down. Lean back into your hips a little bit. Rotate your elbows in and feel your stability. In every yoga pose that we do, you get to feel your own sense of stability, noticing that it comes from within, and it's just a matter of aligning. All right, we're going to do some separate leg stretching with forward bending. Bring your right leg out to the side 45 degrees. And you can tuck the left sole against the inner right thigh if this presents pain in the knee. This Blissful Warrior practice has no room for pain. This is not one of those practices where we're going to push through pain to get some kind of a breakthrough. The breakthrough you're looking for is the ability to believe in your still, grounded, centered ability to feel strong. So if there's pain here, you just bring your legs straight out. Let your legs shoot right out of your hip. All right, so you make your choice. Flex your right sole. As you inhale, sweep your arms over your head. Clasp all 10 fingers into a nice strong net and pull. Pull the net towards the ceiling. Lock the arms towards your ears. Lean into your hips backwards. Turn your torso towards your outstretched right leg. And as you exhale, catch the ball of your foot in the net of your fingers and drop your forehead to your knee. And drop your elbows to the ground and let your shoulders slump. If you need to bend your knee to make your forehead touch, then go ahead. You are not here to prove anything to anyone. We are here to feel the relief of moving your body. Breathing with the ribs. Inhale, ribs wide. Exhale, ribs meet. And change. Flexing the heel and bringing the net of fingers over your head again. Turning your torso centered and alternating the legs. Left leg is out and the sole of the right foot is either tucked up against the inner left thigh or coming straight out ahead of you. And lift. Pull from the net and lift from under your rib cage as you lean back. Turn your torso to the outstretched left leg, leaning back a little more. And again, catching the ball of your foot in the net of your fingers. And drop, forehead to knee. Elbows are hugging your calf muscle. Shoulders feel slumped. Flex your heel. Bend your knee if you need to make your forehead touch the knee. Tucking your chin, letting your head feel so heavy. Change. Flexing the heel and pulling forward, bringing the net back over your head. Now both legs out in front of you. So we're going to do a very quick sit-up here. If you have no back problems, you can join me in this sit-up. Lie down on your back, arms overhead. Flex your heels, lock your body, Lift from under your rib cage. Feel yourself stretching, creating your own internal traction to stretch your body, and then sit up. Reach up and touch the ceiling. Reach forward with your first two fingers, hook between your first two toes, looking at the wall in front of you. Double jerk, double exhale. Shh, shh, and hang. Chin to throat, forehead to knees, elbows to the ground beside your calves, and hang here. And then look up. Looking at the wall in front of you, lock your arms. Walk your hips backwards, maybe 10 times or so. So you're really walking backwards on your hips. Keep your arms nice and locked and stable. Looking at the wall in front of you. Inhale and lift your chest, collarbones wide, chin down, eyes focus. And as you exhale, flatten the backs of your knees. You can pull forward on your heels. You can round your pinky toes towards your face. You can imagine the soles of your feet up against the wall in front of you. And when those legs are straight, pull a little more so your heels hover. Suck your stomach in and bend your elbows beside your calves down to the ground as you lead your chest forward. So this is a beautiful, flat, lengthening back pose. Inhale, lift your chest, drop your chin, collarbones wide, flex your heels. And as you exhale, flattening the backs of your knees, when they're locked, pull forward. Feeling your breastbone come between your shoulders, your upper body laying down on your thighs, elbows to the ground. And then change, coming up. Place your palms on your knees, bounce a little bit. Leaning back into your hips. Sometimes we don't realize how much we lean forward in our lives with our chest, with our chin, till you lean back and you feel the stability of being grounded on both hips. And then flex your heels, rotate your knees, lock your elbows, drop your chin, lean back a little into your hips and breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. All right, I promised you guys some lying down poses today, so let's lie down. Keeping your legs out in front of you, I'm just going to turn the other way. And let's see if you can lie down, locking your elbows, dropping your chin, lean into your heels. Lean into your hips, flex your heels, and come down one vertebra at a time. Tuck your chin, slide your palms over your thighs, all the way down. Arms at your sides, palms facing up. I'm just going to readjust myself with the camera. You guys just relax. Let your arms go far from your body, palms facing up. Let your heels lightly touch, toes flop open, knees and hips flop open. Looking down the middle of your body. Let's practice breathing deep with the rib cage. Inhale, collarbones wide, ribs open wide. And exhale, ribs together. Hearing that loud ha sound in your throat as you drop your lower back. Alright, some beautiful hip opening poses right now. Pavanamuktasana, wind removing pose. Inhale and bend your right knee, placing your right sole and bring your arms in close. Tucking your chin, pulling your collarbones wide. Now watch this. I was doing it. Watch this thrusting of the rib cage. Bring it back down. As you exhale, bend your right knee to your chest. Bend your elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the knee. Let your elbows hug your waist. Relax your outstretched leg. Relax both feet. Relax your right knee forward into this net of fingers. Inhale again, collarbones wide and chin down. And exhale, press with your fingertips and guide your right knee towards your right armpit. Just relax your hip, let your biceps do all this work, and knee to the armpit. This is a beautiful hip opening pose, affecting both hips, massaging your ascending colon, strengthening and lengthening your back. collarbones wide, both elbows in your waist. Exhale, tighten the net of fingers, guide the knee to the armpit, and change. Let the sole of the right foot rest, bring your right leg out and your arms out. Take a breath right here. Inhale. Ribs are wide. Exhale. Ribs meet. Let your lower back drop as if someone's hand is holding your lower back and you drop into it. And then inhale and bend the left knee. Placing the left sole on the ground, bring your arms close. Drag down on your shoulders, pulling your collarbones wide, but feel this dragging feeling from your wrists to your shoulders. Bend the left knee, bend the elbow tips. Make a net of fingers 2 inches below the left knee and let that left knee fall into this net. Inhale, collarbones wide and elbows in your waist. Exhale, pressing and guiding the left knee around the rib cage towards the left armpit. Feeling this intense kind of stretch in your right hip, a sort of pinched feeling in your left hip. Both hips benefiting. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Feel yourself nestling your shoulder blades to the mat. And exhale, press and guide the left knee to the left armpit. Just really enjoying the stretch. Not worrying about how deeply you're going or what results you're getting. The result is the in-the-moment pleasure that you feel right now. And change. Sole on the ground, legs out, leg out, and arms out. And take a breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring both legs together. Begin pointing your toes. As you bring your arms in, begin dragging from your shoulders. Collarbones stay wide and chin tucked. And as you exhale, ribs come together. Bend both knees. Place your soles on the ground and inch your heels closer. Squeeze your legs tightly together and bend both knees towards your chest. Bend both elbow tips and wrap your arms. Keep your head down and reach for whatever might be available for you. Could be fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms. Just find what's available without any judgment. Inhale, collarbones wide and chin down. And exhale, squeeze the legs together using your arms. Draw your knees to your chest using your arms. And if you're holding at the elbow tips or above, push your knees outward so that you feel a nice sort of flattening of your spine. And change. Place your soles, slide your legs out, and take a breath. So stay right where you are. I'm just going to attend to the music. Taking your breath in Shavasana as you inhale, collarbones wide and ribs wide. And as you exhale, ribs come together, and you're going to allow your lower back to drop. So it's as if somebody has slipped their hand under the small of your back, and you want to drop into that. Come back to where you guys are. Shavasana pose. Inhale. And exhale. All right. We're going to do a sit-up, a yoga-style sit-up. Again, if you have no back problems, join me in this. If you do, just roll over onto your side and press yourself up into a seated position. So inhale, arms overhead. Lock your elbows, flex your heels. Pull your ribs towards your head. So you're really getting this beautiful traction in the center of your body. It feels fantastic. Hold your breath, hold your length, and sit up. Reach the ceiling. Grab onto your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Double jerk, double exhale. Shh, and hang. Chin to throat. Forehead to knees. elbows to the ground, curling in. And then come up and facing front. All right, so we've done some beautiful forward bending and hip movements. Now we're going to do a little backward bending. Not as scary as it sounds. This beautiful pose is called Supta Vajrasana, fixed firm pose. So sit hips to heels. If that's uncomfortable for you, place your fingertips on the ground. Press up into your biceps so your hips are hovering a little bit over your heels. And notice that you can still access this pose using your biceps. Now, if you're sitting hips to heels, start to push your heels apart with your hips. So you're going to try to settle your hips on the ground between your heels. If you're a little uncomfortable doing this, you can spread your knees apart. That might be more helpful for you. If your hips are not down on the ground, stay in your fingertips and just do this beautiful rolling of the hips. And if your hips are down, let's move into the backward bending portion of this pose. Right palm on your right sole, left palm on your left sole. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your breastbone to the ceiling, and hang your head, reaching for the mat with the top of your head. Very lightly, one elbow tip at a time. And then let yourself slide onto the back of your head, sweeping your arms over your head and grabbing your opposite elbow tips, looking down the midline of your body. Now, if your knees are close together, you might feel an intense stretch across the tops of your thighs. This is a beautiful feeling. If it's uncomfortable, you can bring your knees apart more, and this will relieve the stretch. So kind of find your arrival place in this pose. As you inhale, widen your rib cage. Hear that sound in the back of your throat. And as you exhale, if your knees are apart, maybe you want to start walking them together. Just deciding how much intensity you want to feel on the quads today. No pain. There's this tremendous difference between stretching and pain. Stretching is actually pleasurable. Inhale. And exhale. Ribs together. Drop your lower back. And then easing out of this pose, elbow tips and forearms to the ground. Lift your chest, hang your head, coming up, stacking your spine. One vertebra on top of the other. Let your head come up last. And let's go into child's pose. Knees together, heels together, hips to heels. If this is uncomfortable, spread your knees apart 8 to 10 inches. Place your fingertips on the ground beside you. Elbow tips are bending as you lower yourself down. Lowering your chest to your thighs and your forehead to the mat. And once you're down, let your elbows bend, your arms come to your sides, and slump. Inhale. Exhale. As you exhale your breath, imagine someone pressing on your traps, pushing you forward. Just stay empty here. Inhale. And exhale. Now, if you have your knees together, place your fingertips on the ground and spread your knees apart so that your chest can find its way to the ground between your knees. And release your arms, extended child's pose. Inhale with your big toes touching behind you. And as you exhale, feel the pressure on your traps, pushing you down and forward. Changing out of the pose, fingertips on the ground beside your knees, elbow tips pulling towards your hips. Hang your head, Press into your fingertips, stack your spine, and place your head on top. And again, if you can sit hips to heels, now's just a good time to relax into it. Palms in your lap, chin down. Inhale. And exhale. Another beautiful spine stretching forward bend pose, half tortoise. Inhale, arms overhead. Press your palms together, and as you pull up from your fingers, lift up from under the rib cage. Let your ribs go straight up towards your head. Feel this beautiful traction in the middle of your body, and then keeping that traction, just let your tailbone drop, and once again, lift. Press your palms tightly, keep your eyes focused forward, and as you exhale, pull forward with your fingers, keeping your arms locked beside your ears, pulling for the wall in front of you, coming down nice and slow, good steady control of your lower back. See if your forehead will touch the ground first. And then just the blades of your pinkies slide forward. Press your palms. Inhale. And as you exhale, press into the blades of your pinkies so your wrists are angled up. Lock your elbows and pull your shoulders down from your ears, feeling your middle back and your lower back relax. You can feel your hips drop to your heels. Inhale, chin away from your throat, sliding forward on the blades of your pinkies. Exhale, press into the blades, wrists up, elbows locked, shoulders down, middle back lined up, hips drop to heels. It's a beautiful pose. So relaxing. A little bit of an inversion pose with your hips higher than your head. Inversions are so good for your circulation. And now coming out of the pose, as you inhale, press your palms, pull forward, squeeze your biceps against your ears, and stack your spine, coming up slowly, deliberately, giving yourself your own spinal adjustment. And here at center, lift and stretch and reach and drop. And again, palms in your lap, settle back into your hips. Inhale. And exhale. So these poses are some really deep stretching, but can you also sense the mental clarity, the emotional calm that this kind of breathing and stretching is giving you? It is just as important to pay attention to your mental and emotional health as it is to your physical health. These things cannot be separated. They are very intimately intertwined. Sometimes it's easier to notice when you're sort of off in your physical health. The first thing you might notice is your emotional state becomes agitated. And when you pay attention to your emotional state, it won't get to the point of physical deterioration. And of course, when your emotional state is more clear and you're just more grounded and centered, you enjoy your life more. So take a breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, place your fingertips on the ground and let's bring your legs out. Palms on your knees and bounce. And lean back into your hips. Let your arms be limp. Just bounce your knees, alternating, one at a time. And stop. Flex your heels. Flex the toes towards your face. Lock your arms. Try not to hunch in on your shoulders even though your arms are locked. Pull your collarbones wide. Drop your chin. Rotate your knees in a little. Lean into your hips a little. And breathe here, feeling your sense of stability. The world around you might be rocking, but you have a sense of stability that you can cultivate within yourself. Inhale. As you exhale, let's lie down. One vertebra at a time, sliding your palms over your knees, flexing your heels forward, locking your arms, sliding your palms over your thighs, flexing your heels forward, laying down one vertebra at a time for your final Shavasana pose. Now you stay right here, arms at your sides, heels lightly touching, toes, feet, ankles, knees, and hips splayed apart, looking down the midline of your body. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. And I'm going to come into a sit-up so I can guide you through this final Shavasana. All right, so in the final phase of this pose, you get to completely relax so that you can completely feel the empowerment, the effect that these poses, this breathing, this stillness, this time that you've taken for yourself has on your life. It's not just about physical flexibility, although that will happen. It's not just about toning your muscles, although that will happen. It's about having a life that feels good to you, physically, emotionally, mentally, no matter what else is happening around you. You have this blissful warrior power, this ability to cultivate from within a sense of peace and empowerment. And you've done that right now in, I guess we've been together about 45 minutes now. So 45 minutes of your day to cultivate a lifelong habit of inner peace and happiness. Not so much to ask, but so much reward. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Remember to breathe with the rib cage. Collarbones wide, ribs moving out to the sides, back in towards the midline. Staying empty. And another breath. Inhale. And exhale. Staying empty. There's a lot of relaxation in this pause. And inhale. And exhale. And then noticing how you feel. Sometimes it's just easy to let adjectives come to your mind for how you feel right now. Or give yourself a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being very calm and chill, and 10 being very agitated and upset about something. So where are you right now? And is it different than when you first started this practice today? Notice your own empowerment, your own complete and deliberate control over your own emotional state, which affects everything else in your life, from your health to your relationships, to your finances, to all those other things that seem to be in control, when in fact it's you that's in control. Thank you for joining me today in this beautiful Friday practice. I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I am the creator of the Blissful Warrior, this beautiful practice that I so enjoy sharing with you every day. Just keep coming back. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes blissful. Thank you. See you soon.